మరికొద్దిసేపట్లో ప్రశాంతి నిలయంలోని సాయి కుల్వంత్ సభా మండపం నుండి ప్రత్యక్ష ప్రసారాలను మీరు వింటారు. దయచేసి వేచి ఉండండి.
Sai Ram, dear listeners, live broadcast of the proceedings from the Sai Kulwant Hall at Prasanthi Nilayam will follow shortly. Please stay tuned.
సాయిరాం. మరికొద్దిసేపట్లో ప్రశాంతి నిలయంలోని సాయి కుల్వంత్ సభా మండపం నుండి ప్రత్యక్ష ప్రసారాలను మీరు వింటారు. దయచేసి వేచి ఉండండి.
हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः क्षेमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः अथ सूर्याथर्वाङ्गिरसंव्याख्यास्यामः ब्रह्मा ऋषिः गायत्री छन्दः आदित्यो देवता हंसः सोऽहमग्निनारायणयुक्तं बीजम् हृल्लेखा शक्तिः विहदादिसर्गसंयुक्तं कीलकम् चतुर्विध पुरुषार्थसिद्ध्यर्थे विनियोगः षट्स्वरारूढेन बीजेन षडङ्गम् रक्ताम्बुजसंस्थितम् सप्ताश्वरथिनम् हिरण्यवर्णम् चतुर्भुजम् पद्मद्वयाभयवरदहस्तम् कालचक्रप्रणेतारम् श्रीसूर्यनारायणम् य एवं वेद स वै ब्राह्मणः। ॐ भूर्भुवः सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तस्तु षश्च सूर्याद्वै खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते सूर्याद्यज्ञः पर्जन्योऽन्नमात्मा नमस्ते आदित्या त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं कर्म कर्तासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं विष्णुरसि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं रुद्रोऽसि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं मृगसि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं यजुरसि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं सामासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षमथर्वासि त्वमेव सर्वं छन्दोसि आदित्याद्वायुर्जायते आदित्याद्भूमिर्जायते आदित्यादापो जायन्ते आदित्याज्योतिर्जायते आदित्याद्व्योमदिशो जायन्ते आदित्याद्देवा जायन्ते आदित्याद्वेदा जायन्ते आदित्यो वा एष एतन्मण्डलं तपति असावादित्यो ब्रह्मा आदित्यो अन्तःकरणमनोबुद्धिचित्ताहङ्काराः आदित्यो वै व्यानः समानो दानोपानप्राणः आदित्यो वै श्रोत्रत्वक्चक्षुरसनघ्राणाः आदित्यो वै वाक्पाणिपादपायोपस्थाः आदित्यो वै शब्दस्पर्शरूपरसगन्धाः आदित्यो वै वचनादानागमनविसर्गानन्दाः आनन्दमयो विज्ञानमयो विज्ञानघन आदित्यः नमो मित्राय भाणवे मृत्योर्मा पाहि भ्राजिष्णवे विश्वहेतवे नमः सूर्याद्भवन्ति भूतानि सूर्येण पालितानि तु सूर्ये लयं प्राप्नुवन्ति यः सूर्यः सोऽहमेव च चक्षुर्नो देवः सविता चक्षुर्न उत पर्वतः चक्षुर्धाता दधातु नः आदित्याय विद्महे सहस्रकिरणाय धीमहि तन्नः सूर्यः प्रचोदयात् सविता पुरस्तात् सविता पश्चात्तात् सवितोत्तरात्तात् सविता धरात्तात् सविता नः सुवतु सर्वतातिगुं सविता नो रासतान् दीर्घमायुः ओमित्येकाक्षरं ब्रह्मा गृणिरिति द्वे अक्षरे सूर्य इत्यक्षरद्वयम् आदित्य इति त्रीण्यक्षराणि एतस्यैव सूर्यस्याष्टाक्षरो मनुः यः सदा हर हर जपति स वै ब्राह्मणो भवति स वै ब्राह्मणो भवति सूर्याभिमुखो जप्त्वा महाव्याधिभयात् प्रमुच्यते अलक्ष्मीर्नश्यति अभक्ष्यभक्षणात् पूतो भवति अगम्यागमनात् पूतो भवति पतितसम्भाषणात् पूतो भवति असत्सम्भाषणात् पूतो भवति मध्याह्ने सूर्याभिमुखः पठेत् सद्योत्पन्न पञ्चमहापादकात् प्रमुच्यते सैषा सावित्रीं विद्यां न किञ्चिदपि न कस्मैचित् प्रसंशयेत् य एतां महाभागः प्रातः पठति स भाग्यवान् जायते पशून् विन्दति वेदार्थं लभते त्रिकालमेतज्जप्त्वा क्रतुशतफलमवाप्नोति हस्तादित्ये जपति स महामृत्युं तरति स महामृत्युं तरति य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषत् भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः राजाधिराजाय प्रसय्यसाहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यम् कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो दधातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
यज्ञप्रिया यज्ञकर्त्री यजमानस्वरूपिणी प्रशान्ति निलयवासी साईश्वरी नमोऽस्तुते गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् योपां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपां पुष्पम् पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति अग्निर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति योऽग्निरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अग्निरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति वायुर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो वायोरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै वायोरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति असौ वै तपन्नपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो मुष्यतपत आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अमुष्यतपत आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
माते मलयध्वज पाण्ड्य सञ्जाते मातङ्गवदन गुह माते मलयध्वज पाण्ड्य सञ्जाते मातङ्गवदन गुह शातोदरी शङ्करी शातोदरी शङ्करी ಚಾಮುಂಡೇಶ್ವರಿ ಚಂದ್ರಕಳಾಧರಿ ತಾಯೇ ಗೌರಿ ಮಾತೆ. ಮಾತೆ, the divine mother, Malayadhwaja Pandya Sanjate, the one who was born as a daughter to the king Malayadhwaja of Pandya dynasty. Matanga Vadana Guha Mate, the mother of Matanga Vadana, the elephant-faced one, Ganapathi, Guha, Subramanya. Shatodari, the one with a slender stomach. Shankari, the one who bestows us with auspiciousness. Chamundeshwari, the one who annihilated the demon by the name Chamunda. Chandrakalathari, the one who adorns a crescent moon on her forehead. Let us offer our humble salutations to that divine mother, Mother Sai. Om Shri Sai Ram. The Lord is bound by a Diksha. This is Artatrana Parayana Diksha. What is Artatrana Parayana Diksha, if you ask? Artha is anyone who is asking or seeking for help, who has that longing. Artatrana Parayana is the one who saves the people who are longing for him. The Lord is bound by this particular Diksha, Artatrana Parayana Diksha. The incidences that literally extol this Artatrana Parayana Diksha of divinity is written in many scriptures. And I would like to take the example from Bhagavatam. In Bhagavatam, there is this particular story which many of you would be familiar with, the story of Gajendra Moksham. Gajendra was a happy elephant king who was roaming around in jungles because he is the king of the jungle. He happens to go near a lake and he wants to quench his thirst. And when he quenched his thirst, he starts playing in water. Of course, elephants love being in water and playing in water. And then a crocodile catches hold of his leg. This epic battle goes on for years between the crocodile and the elephant. Crocodile may be a weak animal on the land, but the lake is its stronghold. After years of battle, Gajendra surrenders and says, Lavokkintayu ledu dhairyambu vilolambayye pranamul thavul tappinu tarumundasse moorchavache shramambayyadin neeve tappa itaf paramberunga mannimpadagun deenunin rave Ishvara kavave varada samrakshimpu bhadratmaka. The prayer of Gajendra means, Lavokkintayu ledu, I don't have any muscle left in my body. Dhairyambu vilolambayye, my courage is depleting. Pranamul thavul tappenu, my life force is moving out of my body. Tanumundassen, I am literally having fatigue. Moorcha vache, I am about to faint. Shramam bayyadin, I am taking lot of stress, lot of fatigue. Neeve tappa itaf param berunga, I don't know anyone other than you. Mannimpadagun deenunin. Don't you think I am worthy to be bestowed with grace? Rave Ishvara, come, oh my dear God. Kavave varada, why don't you rescue me? Samrakshimpu bhadratmaka, come on, rescue me, is the prayer that Gajendra does. And where is this prayer heard? Alavaikunthapuramulo nagarilo namula saudhambudapala mandar vanamrutasara prantendukapalotpala paryankaramamanyodegu napanna prapannundu vihwala nagendramu pahi pahi ani kuyi alinchi samrambhiyayi. Where it is said, Alavaikunthapuramulo, in the Vaikuntha Nagarilo, there is a Antahpura. Nagarilo namula saudhambu, there is in a corner there is one building. Dapala mandara vanamrutasara, there is a hibiscus garden after that, and in that there is a lake which is full of nectar, amrita. Prantendukapalotpala paryankarama vinodiyagu napanna prapannundu. He is being served by Lakshmi and he is reclining on a snake. Pahi, pahi ani kuyalinchi samrambhiyai. He heard this particular cry and he started. How did he start? Siriginjappudu shankhachakrayagamunche edoi sandhimpade parivarambunu chirala abhrakapatim pannimpuda karnikantara dammillamu chakkanottadu vivada prodhita shrikuchopari chelanchanamaina veedadu gajapranavanotsaahiyai. To rescue the elephant, Siriginjappudu, he doesn't tell Lakshmi where he is going. In fact, he is actually holding Lakshmi's hand and he is literally dragging her. Shankhachakrayagamunche edoi sandhimpadu. He doesn't adorn his prospects, Shankha and Chakra. Ye parivarambunu jiradu. He will not intimate anyone. Generally, when we are moving out of home, we'll tell someone, hey, I'm going to this place, I'll come back in half an hour or 1 hour. He doesn't tell any of his family. Abhrakapatim bannimpudu. Abhrakapati means Abhram is sky and Pati is the king of the skies. That is Garuda. Garuda is literally waiting on the runway. He is going to come, he is going to mount me, we are going to take off. He doesn't utilize the services of Garuda. ఆ కర్ణికాంతర దమ్మిల్లము చక్కనొత్తడు. It seems his hair was falling above his ears. He didn't have the time even to straighten his hair. వివాద ప్రోద్ధిత శ్రీకుచోపరి చేలాంచనమైన వీడడు. He is not leaving even Lakshmi Devi. He is just holding her and he is just taking with him. గజ ప్రాణావనోత్సాహియై. Why all this rush? To save a dear devotee. And what is the predicament of Lakshmi Devi? She doesn't know what is happening. She is totally confused. And Potana in his Bhagavatam explains this beautifully. Adigedanani kaduvadijanu nadigina tana muguda nodagade nadiyadugun vedavadi sidimuti tadabada nadigedu jarima nadigedu nellan. If this doesn't signify confusion, I don't know what signifies confusion. So in this kind of situation, the Lord comes down and he rescues Gajendra from that predicament. That is the power of prayer. A prayer that comes out from a pure heart, a pure and unsullied prayer, straight reaches to the ears of the Lord and he rushes to our rescue. There is one beautiful incident that is described in the book Tapovanam. This was way back in 1976. There were few engineers in Brindavan ashram who are roaming around with, there is a lot of hustle with so many plans and all. Students didn't know what was happening. Then Swami came out from his residence. Students swarmed around him as usual, Brindavan days. Then Swami announced, I am going to build a new hostel. I understand that the current hostel is little bit cramped. The new hostel will be more roomy and more spacious and you all will be comfortable. This hostel will be built near the college building, little far away from Brindavan. Till the new hostel, everything was fine. But when Swami told it will be near the college building is technically out of the Brindavan ashram that time. So the faces went blank and one student even pleaded to Swami, why Swami, this hostel is very comfortable for all of us. We are happy, we are in your vicinity. We don't want new hostel like that. They pleaded to Swami. Swami is like, aha, I am very happy that you all are, you all are very comfortable and you are content with whatever you have. But it pains me to see that all of you are being cramped up for space. So I have decided that I will build this new hostel and it is the foundation stone is going to be laid next Thursday. That was 2 days from then. All were shocked, dejected. They didn't know what to do. Nobody wants to move out of that hostel because the vicinity with Swami is such. Snap and you can just run near Swami's residence within seconds, literally. But then next day when Swami entered hostel, one student wrote a letter. The youngest of the students wrote a letter and he handed it over to Swami. Swami opened that letter. He read it completely. Then he gave a beautiful smile to the student and he summoned the warden. The warden came. He gave that letter to warden and he told, come on, read it. I want everybody to hear this letter. This is what the letter that he has written. Let us hear to this. Dearest Sai Mother, not dear Sai Mother, dearest Sai Mother, our humblest salutation to your lotus feet. Are you displeased with us? Are we disturbing the silence that is most dear to you? Are we violating the code of discipline and behaving without due restraint? It must be. Otherwise, why would you try to send us away from the beautiful presence of Brindavan? Why do you insist that a new hostel for us should be built at a far off location? It was literally 500 meters, but they don't want to move out of Brindavan. Brindavan is such a gracious place. It has brought your sweet and protective love and care very close to us. Even gods would deserve to enjoy such love. Gods would desire to enjoy such love. As if Swami doesn't know that gods desire that. With heartfelt love and affection, your child. There is nobody without a tear in their eyes. And the story doesn't end there. P.S. Postscript. If you are so determined at any rate to build the new hostel far away from Brindavan, kindly also build a new residence for you and stay close to us. If you are sending us away from you, you better come with us, but don't keep us away from you. Then Swami literally felt the gravity of that. Swami summoned the chief engineer and Swami told, see, boys want the hostel here only in the Brindavan ashram premises. Chief engineer is like, Swami, it's 48 hours from the foundation stone laying, all the final plans are ready, we can't pull this off. Swami is like, no, the hostel will be built within the Brindavan premises. And on the day of the inauguration, the boy who was holding the Arati asked Swami, Swami, you did so much for us. What can we do for you? We have nothing to offer you. What can we do for you? Swami said in the most beautiful way, the most divinely beautiful way that only Swami can say, happy tears are trickling down from your tender cheeks. That's all I want. Shed a tear for me. What I desire most is only your happiness. Imagine the Lord of the universe asking a human just to be happy, by which it will make the Lord of the universe happy. Imagine the kind of privilege that we have. Imagine the kind of fortune that we have, that all that we need to please the Lord of the universe, who manages across universes, is for us to be happy. That's all. That's why Swami says, all will be happy, God will be happy. Coming to today's proceedings of Prasanthi Vidwan Mahasabha, today Sri Sai Manohar S will be addressing us. Sri Sai Manohar is presently the warden of hostel at Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Mudinahalli campus. He is also an assistant professor in the Department of Management and Commerce, Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Mudinahalli campus. He had the great good fortune of being associated with Bhagawan's educational institutions from a very tender age. He joined Bhagawan school in Ooty from first standard. Then he went on to do his schooling, graduation, post-graduation in MBA from Swami's institutions in Prasanthi Nilayam. He had several close interactions with Swami, both as staff and as student. Earlier, he rendered his services as senior manager finance and administration at Brindavan Ashram for 13 long years. He then joined the Mudinahalli campus as assistant professor in 2013 and was also appointed as deputy warden of the hostel there from 2013 to 2017. He is currently the warden and is also pursuing his doctoral research in the area of rural financial inclusion. With these words, I would like to request Sri Sai Manohar sir to address the august gathering. Sri Sai Manohar.
सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। या कुन्देन्तु तुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैर्सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा। नमस्तेस्तु महामाये श्रीपीठे सुरपूजिते शङ्खचक्रगदाहस्ते महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। Om Shri Sai Ram. Invoking the divine presence of Mother Goddesses, Durga, Lakshmi and Saraswati, I offer my prayerful pranams, most reverential pranams at the lotus feet of our most beloved Sai Ma, who is the triune of all the three Shaktis. Sri Adi Shankaracharya, the great Advaitic philosopher, in his beautiful, prayerful composition, the Saundarya Lahari, in the very first paragraph, he describes the power of Mother Goddess or Shakti. He says, if there is any power, if there is any power on this earth that can make even Lord Shiva bend to that power, it is the power of Mother Goddess. He says, nothing can move without the power of Mother Goddess Shakti. Shiva and Shakti both are inseparable. Like the great Kalidasa said, Vagarthaviva sampraktau Vagartha pratipattaye Jagatah pitarau vande Parvati parameshwarau. The word and the meaning both are inseparable. Shiva and Shakti cannot be differentiated. That very principle of Shiva Shakti, embodied in the divine form of our most beloved Bhagawan, descended on this earth to teach us all to move on the right path. What is this path? What is this right path? And why should the divine descend on this earth to teach mankind the path to walk on? Swami says, you know what is the meaning of the word avatar? Avatarinchanamattu ardhamemato telusa janulapai ప్రీతి వాత్సల్య పరతతో. ఆ దేవుడు దివి నుంచి భువికి దిగి వచ్చే, that divine Lord, with lot of concern for the entire humanity, came down to this earth, took a human form in order to show us all the path, the right path. There are several ways to attain God, be it the path of knowledge, be it the path of devotion, the path of karma and spiritual activities. Which is the path that is easy and that which leads us easily to our destination, that is God? There's a small story which describes the relationship between the three paths. There is one learned scholar. He has completed the studies of all the Vedas and the Shastras and whatnot. There's one more person who indulges himself in various charitable and spiritual activities. He gives away a lot of charity. And there is this third person who is a little priest in a temple, following the path of devotion, prayers, and daily worship to the Lord in a very small Shiva temple, a dilapidated little Shiva temple. The learned person very mockingly, and all the three of them would stay in the same village. The learned person very mockingly would look at the little priest, the small priest, and he would say, you know, your daily prayers will not lead you to God. You must follow the path of jnana, learn knowledge of the Shastras and the Vedas. That will lead you to liberation. He would mock at the little priest. It seems once, Swami says this in his discourses, he gives this example. Once Uddhava, he came to the Gopikas during the time of Sri Krishna, and he advised the Gopikas. He tells them, you're all illiterate, rustic women in a village. You do not know the path of spirituality. I will teach you all the 8 yogas. I will be with you. I will lead you and guide you on the path of yoga. The Gopikas were not very impressed. They tell him, Uddhava, we all have only one mind. We do not have multiple minds and intellects to grasp all these various forms of knowledge, yoga, material sciences and material ways of living and knowledge. We do not have multiple minds to understand and learn all this. We have only one mind, and that mind has been mortgaged to our Krishna. We cannot think of anything else or learn anything new apart from just constantly thinking of our most dear Krishna. Coming back to the earlier story, the person with scholarly knowledge was criticizing the priest. The person who was on the path of action, told the man who was worshipping the Lord in the temple, you should do lots of charitable activities, you must give away money, you should give away food in charity, do Narayan Seva, and you should build rest houses. That's the path of charity, and you will attain liberation. This priest listened to all this, but continued with his daily worship, sincere daily worship of the Lord. One night, as the first two men, the scholar and the man of action, as they were walking on the road in their village, there was a huge thunderstorm. It started raining heavily. There was a big gust of wind. It was very fearsome. It was late in the night, pitch dark, no light around. They were drenched in the rain, and they wanted to find some shelter to save themselves. They ran helter-skelter hither, and moved on forward to find a shelter. They could not find any. They went on moving forward. They were very scared. And finally they found a small little dwelling, kind of, a small little temple. They rushed into the temple. Absolute darkness, huddled together in great fear. They were happy to be saved from the storm, and they went into the shelter, took shelter in the little small space, holding on to something that was something like a pillar. Huddled together, they were holding on to that. And within no time, they slept off, went into deep slumber because they were tired and a lot of fatigue and fear. The next morning, as the light dawned, they found that, to their surprise, they found that they were in a very peculiar situation. The man who was the scholar and the man of action. They found that they were both of them were hugging, in fact. The pillar that they were holding was nothing but the Shivalinga of the temple. They found very strangely that they were earlier mocking at worshipping the idols and making prayers in the temples, but finally they found refuge at the Shivalinga. At the same time, early in the morning, this young priest comes and he is very amused to see these two people hugging and embracing the Shivalinga. What has happened to them? And then, as he thinks to himself, there is this ethereal voice that declares, it is not the path of knowledge, nor is it the path of action that is superior to the path of devotion. All the three paths lead to the ultimate destination. Having heard this story, what is that we must choose? What is the path that is easy for us all to choose and follow? In the introductory talk, there was a mention of prayer. The path of prayer and the path of devotion, Swami says, is the easiest path. It is like a royal highway which leads you straight to God. The God, I said, comes down as the avatar to teach us, to show us the path, to show us the destination, and also to show us how to walk the path. When we talk of prayer and devotion, Swami taught us by his example and through his interactions how to pray, when to pray, and also the importance of prayer. Let me take you back to the early 90s. The students of the senior boys hostel here in Prasanthi Nilayam were pleading with Swami to visit the hostel on the occasion of Ganesha Chaturthi. The boys went on asking Swami to come to the hostel, but Swami did not give a positive, confirmed response. And the prayers continued, the pleading continued. On the day of Ganesh Chaturthi, there was a program in this very hall. Earlier, the sands were there, and the students would perform the music presentations and stotram recitation in the Mandir here. After the morning program, the students again got together and pleaded with Bhagawan to come to the hostel in Prasanthi Nilayam to inaugurate the Ganesha Puja. Swami immediately responded that particular day and he said, "Yes, I will come. All of you rush back to the hostel. I will be there in 10 minutes. The entire group of students ran from the Mandir. It was a sprint from here to the hostel, taking up vantage positions in the hostel prayer hall and eagerly anticipating the arrival of Swami to the hostel. Swami came to the hostel in about 10-15 minutes. Swami sat through the puja, and after the puja, Swami also gave a talk in the hostel towards the end of the talk, Swami observed that there was some little bit of indiscipline among the students. So by the time the talk ended, Swami was in a different mood. He was upset, he was angry with the students, and after the conclusion of the talk, he left the hostel. He was in an angry mood. The students, of course, thought that Swami would come back to normal in a few hours or by evening, but that did not happen. That evening, there was a message conveyed in the hostel by the university authorities that the students need not come to the Mandir for darshan sessions. Swami had sent word that the students should not come to the Mandir for darshan. Being a student in Prasanthi Nilayam, seeking his close physical proximity day and night, this was absolutely painful for every student. The students awaited some kind of change over a period of a few days. They could not communicate directly, physically with Swami because they were prevented from coming to the Mandir. They could not even write letters and give it to Swami. They were in a state where they were left all alone. When there is no other option, we all turn to that one single option, and that is prayer. On the fourth day, after this, the senior students decided that they would have a night-long bhajan. The bhajan session was organized. All the students gathered together in the prayer hall, and the entire hall was vibrating with a lot of devotion and sincere prayer. Recount some of the bhajans that were sung. At least two of them were very heart-touching. One bhajan was Mujhe Darish Dikhao Bhagawan. O Lord, please grant me darshan. The other bhajan, Daya Karo He Dayanide He Bhagawan. Daya Karo He Dayanidhe He Bhagavan. The boys were praying, offering their heart. The night bhajan session got over, and the next day morning, everybody expected that the prayers would have reached Swami. No news, but everybody went to the college classes and came back. During the lunchtime, they expected maybe there would be some breakthrough, but even during the lunchtime, there was nothing happening. Just after the lunch, there was a lot of activity in the hostel. Everybody was called to the hostel quadrangle, and one of the senior teachers came and made an announcement. The announcement was, Swami has accepted our prayers, and all the students can come for darshan this evening as part of the Ganesh procession. This was the 5th day, and the Ganesha immersion would have to take place on that day. And all the students were overjoyed hearing this news, and they made the preparations, and the procession started in the evening, and everybody came to the Mandir. However, when they came to the Mandir, they found that Swami was not in his usual place on the ground floor. Swami further wanted to test the limits. Swami was standing here on top of in the first floor of the Mandir, and from there he was seeing the students going across in a procession. This was something that the students could not bear. They stood here right in front and started pleading with Swami. And finally, after listening to the collective prayers of all the students, Swami finally accepted, and he himself told, okay, from now on you can come and participate in the programs in the Mandir. A little warmth is all that is required to melt the butter-like heart of the Lord. There is one more incident that I recall. This happened during the summer course in the late 90s and early 2000s, one of those years. During the summer course, which used to be held in Brindavan, Swami would allow the students to manage the entire summer course, and the students would participate in various activities. Some of these activities would help or would allow the students to have physical proximity with Swami, would allow them to be closer to him. And one of those activities was serving in the dining sessions. It was almost guaranteed that Swami would visit the dining hall for either the lunch session or the dinner session, and the students who were there as part of the serving group would get a chance to be close to Swami. I wanted to participate or be part of this activity, but unfortunately could not be part of that group. I opted to participate in a different service activity, and that was to serve the sick students. The students who would fall sick would require some special kind of diet, so we would prepare that and take it to their rooms and give it to them. But in the heart of hearts, there was this little prayer, Swami, it is the summer course season. Everybody is having your close proximity, physical proximity. Grant me also one little chance to be close to you. The days of summer course were going on. Every day, almost every day, Swami would come to the dining hall of the hostel and look at the arrangements and interact with the students and the staff and the guests. We would see from behind the kitchen. The kitchen was adjacent to the dining room, and in the kitchen door there's a small glass pane through which you can look into the dining hall. So when Swami comes to the dining room, we could see Swami interacting with everybody. That was it. On the last day, as I was in the section, a part of the kitchen, making arrangements to prepare the food for the sick students, I found that there was some kind of a hush and a lot of silent activity. And all of a sudden, Swami came to the dining hall. Swami was not accompanied by any big group of people. Swami came much earlier than the designated timing for the session, for the lunch session, Swami came right into the kitchen and he started looking at the items that were prepared for the lunch. There was nobody else in the kitchen. I was all alone. And to my pleasant surprise and happiness, Swami was there, and I rushed forward to open up the lids of the vessels and show what was prepared. There was nobody else. The cooks and the others had retired after the preparations. Swami spent a couple of minutes there observing, and it was a beautiful little interaction. All these days, there was a little prayer that was not spelt out expressly, but it was there deep within inside the heart. And even that little prayer is heard by the Lord. In the Bhagavatam, the speaker who introduced the session, the student who introduced the session mentioned about the King Gajendra. I would like to reiterate that point. Gajendra, the king of elephants, was a great devotee of the Lord. He used all his physical prowess, his intellectual might to extricate himself from the clutches of the crocodile. But then he could not do anything. All that was of no use. Finally, he realizes that it is not physical strength or intellectual power. It is absolute surrender that is needed. He says, finally, when he surrenders, the poet describes the state of mind of the king elephant. Nive tappa itaf param eruvanun. I don't know anybody else other than you. Rave Ishwara. Kavave Varada. Samrakshinchu Bhadratmaka. I surrender to you totally. That's what Lord Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. No conditions. Give up everything and surrender unto me. And I will assure you, I will give you the assurance that I will take care of you. That is the story of Gajendra. Let me take 2 minutes to bring out to you the same story or a very similar story that happened here in Prasanthi Nilayam. ఏ గుణంబు గణించిని ఏ తెంచెను నాడు ఆ కరిణి గాచెడి తరి కమలనయనుడు. Swami says in one of his discourses, what are the qualities that that Lord had, that he saved that king elephant? ఆ గుణంబే గణించి, with the same qualities. ఈ అమరవంద్యుడై, this Lord who is eternally worshipped, Artajanula Palimpa Avatarinchude, the same God who protected Gajendra today has come in order to protect the people who are in need. And he declares himself as Puttapati Shat Chakravarti, the Lord of Prasanthi Nilayam. The same God has come today to protect all the people who are in need. ఆ గుణంబే గణించి ఈ అమరవంద్యుడై, ఆర్తజనుల పాలింప అవతరించే. What did Swami do? The year was 2007. Swami was in Kodaikanal during the summer of 2007, May. Swami was supposed to return to Brindavan as usual. That was the normal schedule. After he completes his stay in Kodaikanal with the students, Swami would come to Brindavan. It was expected that Swami would return to Brindavan on the 17th of May that year. On the evening of 16th, there was a message that Swami is not coming to Brindavan. Swami has changed his plans. Swami was flying directly from Kodaikanal to Prasanthi Nilayam. There are so many other extraneous reasons that were given for the change of plan. Swami arrived in Prasanthi Nilayam. Nobody knew why this change of plan had happened. 4 days later, everybody understood why Swami had changed his plan. Swami's pet devotee elephant, the pictures that we see, the videos that we see of how Sai Gita, the elephant, who was Swami's very close devotee, how she would rush to Swami whenever he came, and how she would caress Swami when he was coming close to her. That reminds us that there is no differentiation for God. And that elephant devotee breathed her last just 4 days later. And Swami went to the place of her residence here in Prasanthi Nilayam and ensured that all the final rites took place in a proper manner. He was physically present for the final rites of Sai Gita. What cannot God do? He carried the footwear of Draupadi. In order to protect her honor, he applied on his forehead the dust of the feet of the Gopikas in a pretension of a drama, saying that he had a headache, to show to the world that even ordinary folk, even ordinary people can be very close to him. And what is the path that all the ordinary folk, all the ordinary people can take? That is the path of devotion, that is the path of prayer. What kind of prayer and what kind of devotion? We should take that one little step towards him. A step with absolute surrender, without any ego. And then he will always be there. He will always be there protecting us. His hand will be there always on our heads. What is that little step without ego? The great poet Purandaradasa says, Guruvina gulamanu aguva tanaka dorayadannu mukti. Unless we become a kind of a servant of God, it would not be inappropriate even to use the word slave of God. We will never attain the ultimate goal of liberation. Pari Shastravanu Odidareno. You might learn lots of Shastras and be an expert or adept in all this kind of knowledge. Vyarthavayitu bhakti. It's no use. What should we do? Guruvina gulamanu haguva. We should become the servant of that Lord. Kulashekara Alvar, in his beautiful composition, says, Tvad britya britya paricharaka britya britya brityasya britya iti mam smara lokanatha. O God, please accept me as the servant of the servant of the servant of your servants. You know, there's a lot of degree that is associated with this. That is the kind of devotion if we have. The Lord will accept us as we are. And that is the royal path which will lead us straight to His lotus feet, the path of prayer and devotion. As I started with the composition of Adi Shankaracharya, that principle of Shakti is the very same principle of motherhood. That principle of motherhood is entwined in this principle of prayer and devotion. Let us all pray to Swami with all our hearts that He gives us the wisdom to be ever devoted to Him, to cling on to His lotus feet, irrespective of the batterings that we face in our lives, irrespective of the ups and downs and the vicissitudes that we face in our lives. Let us cling on to Him through the path of prayer and devotion. And that is when, if we pray and call out to Him with all our hearts, pray to Him and say, Swami, He will immediately respond saying, Amy. Thank you. Sai Ram.
In the song that was mentioned earlier, Mate Malayatvaja, the poet Shyamasastri goes on to extol mother in various ways, but it ends with the compassionate aspect of mother. It goes on like Data Sakalakala Nipuna Chatura Data Vividhamata Samaya Samarasa Data Sulabhavrati Madhuru Vachana Data Sarasa Ruchira Tarasorale Gita Sukata Nijabhava Rasikavaranath Mahishuranath Nalvati Shri Krishna Rajendra Nathaya Sada Puri Mahita Harikesha Manohare Sadaya Mate, the mother who is full of compassion. We thank you, sir, for taking us to the years of 90s and giving us a glimpse of what the compassionate Lord meant to the students, what the compassionate Lord meant to the devotees and all of us. The students from Sri Sathya Institute of Higher Learning, Brindavan campus will be offering a music program to their beloved Bhagawan after the divine discourse. Now, we shall pray to the most dearest Lord to bless us with His divine discourse. Sai Ram.
Embodiments of divine love.
అనేక మంది ధ్యానము ధ్యానము ధ్యానం అని అంటున్నారు.
Many people say meditation, meditation and meditation.
ఏది ధ్యానం? ధ్యానం అంటే ఏమిటి?
What is the meaning of meditation?
మన జీవితమే ఒక ధ్యానం.
Our life itself is
తెల్లవారి లేచిన మొదలు రాత్రి పరుండునంత వరకును మనం ధ్యానంలోనే ఉన్నాం.
Right from the moment that we get up from sleep till we go to bed in the night, we are
కొన్ని
in
నిమిషాలు లేచిన
meditation.
తక్షణమే బాత్రూమ్ పోవటము, ముఖం క్లీన్ చేసుకోవటం, ఈ ధ్యానంలోనే ఉంటాం మనము.
In the first few minutes, attending to the morning duties, if that itself is a
అది అయిపోయిన
dhyana.
తక్షణమే కాఫీ టిఫిన్ ధ్యానంలో పోతాది.
Next, our meditation is on food and
అది
coffee.
అయిన తక్షణమే డ్రెస్ వేసుకుని ఆఫీస్ ధ్యానంలో ఉంటాము.
Then we put on the dress and go to office. that is also a type of
ఈ
meditation.
ఆఫీసుకు పోయే సమయంలో రోడ్డు లోపల ఏ బస్సు వస్తుందో, ఏ ట్రైన్ వస్తుందో, ఏ కార్ వస్తుందో, ఏ యాక్సిడెంట్ అవుతుందని మన యొక్క యాక్సిడెంట్ పైన ధ్యానంలో పోతుంటాము.
While moving to the office, we take care to see that we don't get involved in any of the
ఆ
accidents.
రోడ్డు
This is not
నుంచి
meditation.
ధ్యానమే లేకపోతే మనం ఆఫీసుకు చేరలేము.
If we don't have that kind of meditation, we are not likely to reach office safe.
మనం ఒక కాలేజీకి పోతే చదువు ధ్యానంలో ఉంటాము.
When we go to college, we are concentrating and meditating on.
ప్లే గ్రౌండ్ పోతే ఆట ధ్యానంలో ఉంటాము.
When we are playing, we are meditating on the.
ఇంకేదైనా మార్కెట్ కి పోతే విషయాలు ధ్యానంలో ఉంటాము.
Similarly, when we go to market,
ఇవన్నీ ధ్యానములే కదా.
all these things are types
ధ్యానం
of
అనేటువంటిది
meditation.
లేకపోతే ఒక చిన్న పని కూడా మనం చేయలేము.
Without meditation, we would not be able to
అనగా
discharge even one
ఒక్కొక్క
duty.
విషయం పైన మనసును మరల్చటమే ధ్యానము అన్నారు.
Therefore, meditation means concentrating mind on different types of work.
ఈ మనసునే దైవం పైన మరల్చినప్పుడు అది దైవ ధ్యానం అంటున్నాం.
If you turn your concentration on God, it is meditation.
కనుక ధ్యానం అంటే దీనికి ప్రత్యేకమైనటువంటి ఒక కాలము, ప్రత్యేకమైనటువంటి ఒక పద్ధతి మనకు అవసరం లేదు.
For meditation, there is no need for a specific time.
ఈ ధ్యానానికి
specific
అనేక
place.
మంది అనేక రూపనామములు కల్పించి కడాతురికి నిజమైనటువంటి ధ్యానాన్ని మరుగుపరిచిస్తున్నారు.
Many people give different meanings and interpretations for this meditation, and the real meaning is lost in the process.
ఒక్క చిన్న ఉదాహరణ, నేను ఇప్పుడు మాట్లాడుతున్నాను, తాము మాట్లాడేది ఏమిటి అని దీనిపై మీరు ధ్యానమే లేకపోతే నేను చెప్పేది ఏమిటి మీకు అర్థం కాదు.
One small example. Swami is speaking now. Unless you concentrate and meditate on what Swami is speaking, you would not be able to understand
ఇది
that.
కూడా ధ్యానమే.
This is meditation.
కనుక ధ్యానం అనేటువంటి దానికి ఒక రూపం లేదు.
Therefore, for meditation, there is no specific form.
కనుక చంచలమైనటువంటి ఈ మనస్తత్వంతో మనం ధ్యానం చేయటం అనేటువంటిది ఎవ్వరికీ సాధ్యం కాదు.
With an agitated mind, a mind which is not steady, you cannot
ఇప్పుడు
perform meditation.
ధ్యానం అనేటువంటి పేరుతో కేవలం అన్ని విధాల స్టంట్స్ జరిగిపోతున్నాయి.
In the name of meditation, only different types of stunts are going on.
నీవు గంట 2 గంటలు అనవసరంగా ఈ చంచలమైన మనసును, కోతి వంటి మనసును పట్టుకొని ఈ అనేక విధములుగా అశాంతికి గురి అయ్యే బదులు నీవు ఇంటి పనులు చేసుకో, ఆఫీస్ పనులు చేసుకో, ఇంకే విధమైనటువంటి సమాజ పనులు చేసుకో, అది ధ్యానం కాదా?
By controlling your mind, which is very unsteady, like a monkey, you only for 1
కాలం
hour.
ఎంత వ్యర్థం చేస్తున్నారు.
Such kind of exercise for 1 or 2 hours is a waste.
ఒక్క గంట కూర్చున్నప్పటికీ ఒక్క సెకండ్ అయినా కూడా అక్కడ అరికట్టుకోవడానికి ఛార్జింగ్ కాదు.
Even if you sit for meditation for 1 hour, even for a second,
ఈ
you are
ధ్యానం
not
పేరుతో
able
ఒక
to
గంటను
control.
వేస్ట్ చేస్తున్నావు కదా నువ్వు.
In the name of meditation, you are only wasting hours and hours.
ఆ కాలంలో నీవు ఈ గృహకృత్యంలో నువ్వు ప్రవేశపెట్టు.
Why don't you just take up the work relating to the
నీవు
home,
అన్ని పనులు చేస్తూ కూడా నువ్వు దైవాన్ని చింతిస్తూ
while doing and discharging all types of work,
ఇవన్నీ
think of
కూడా
God.
దైవం యొక్క స్వరూపాలుగానే భావించు.
Consider all these as the
ఇది ఎంత
forms of
సులభంగా
God.
ఉంటుంది.
How simple this would be.
ఇంత సులభమైన మార్గాన్ని వదిలిపెట్టి అనేక శ్రమలకు వచ్చి పెద్ద కసరత్తు చేసి ఏమేమో దీంట్లో బాధలకు గురి అవుతున్నారు.
Giving up such simple process, undertaking things which are really meaningless, and we are all only putting ourselves to a lot of inconvenience and trouble.
డూ యువర్ డ్యూటీ సిన్సియర్లీ. నీ పని, నీ కర్తవ్యాన్ని నీవు చక్కగా ఆచరించు.
Do your duty sincerely.
అది ఆచరించడానికి విరుద్ధంగా టైమును వ్యర్థం చేసుకోవటము, ధనమును వ్యర్థం చేసుకోవటము, అమూల్యమైనటువంటి కాలాన్ని అరక్షణమైన మనం వృధా చేయరాదని భావించాలి.
We should consider that contrary to this kind of approach, we should not waste even a moment's time, and we should not waste any.
కనుక ధ్యానము అనేటువంటిది కేవలము ఒక్క విషయానికి మాత్రమే సంబంధించింది కాదు.
Meditation, therefore, does not apply only to one particular thing.
ఇది సర్వ విషయములు ఎందుకు నువ్వు ధ్యానమును సమత్వంగా మనము ప్రసరింప చేసుకోవాలి.
Meditation should be made to flow into every activity that we undertake.
ఇంకా మరికొంతమంది ఏకాంత వాసం జరపాలి అని భావిస్తుంటారు.
Some people think that they should spend a solitary life for a few moments.
ఏకాంతం అంటే ఏమిటి?
What do you mean by ekanta?
ఒంటరిగా కూర్చోటమా?
Is it sitting alone or solitarily?
అది సరైనటువంటి అర్థమే కాదు.
That is not the correct meaning of
అనేక
ekanta.
మంది నేను ఏకాంతవాసంగా ఉండాలి, నేను ఏ అరణ్యానికి పోయి కూర్చోవాలి అని భావించి ఏ ఋషికేశో ఏ హరిద్వారమో ఏ యొక్క దీనికో తపోవనకో పోయి కూర్చుంటుంటారు.
Quite a few people, not realizing what ekanta means, think that they should go to a forest or Rishikesh to have this life of
ఈ
ekanta.
ఏకాంత తత్వాన్ని అర్థం చేసుకోలేనటువంటి వ్యక్తులే ఈ విధమైనటువంటి వ్యర్థ పనులు ప్రవేశిస్తారు.
Only those people who really do not understand the correct meaning of ekanta undertake such activity.
ఏకాంతం అనగా మనస్సును స్తంభింపచేసినప్పుడే ఏకాంతం.
Ekanta refers to killing of the mind.
నీవు అరణ్యంలో పోయి కూర్చొని కూడాను నీ మనసు ప్రపంచంలో వచ్చి సంచారం చేస్తుంటే ఇది ఏకాంతం ఎట్లా అవుతుంది?
Even when you are sitting in a forest, if you allow your mind to wander in the world, how can you describe this as ekanta?
సంకల్పాలను నిరూపం చేయకుండా అనగా సంకల్పాలని అరికట్టకుండా ఏ స్థానంలో పోయి శరీరంతో కూర్చున్నప్పటికీ ఇది ఏకాంతం కాదు.
Without controlling the thought processes, whichever place you sit all alone, it cannot be described as
సమాధి
ekanta.
అన్నప్పుడు అది సంకల్పమును నిరోధించటమే సమాధి.
Even samadhi refers to the same thing, that is controlling the thought process.
సంకల్పము లేకుండా చేసుకోవట్లే.
You have to,
లేక సంకల్పములు ఉండి కూడాను సర్వ సంకల్పములు కూడాను దైవ సంకల్పములుగానే భావించాలి.
you have to see that those thoughts come. Even if there are thoughts, the entire thoughts must be saturated with the divinity.
ఆ సంకల్పముల సమయంలో ఈ సంకల్పములు ఎప్పుడు వస్తున్నాయి, ఏ విధంగా వస్తున్నాయి అని విచారణ చేయాలి.
When the thoughts emanate in the mind, you should just inquire from where do they come, how do they come.
నేను 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 అనేటువంటి సంకల్పం వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఈ సంకల్పములన్నీ కూడా ప్రవేశిస్తున్నాయి.
All these thoughts come only after you get the thought of I.
కొంతమంది ఈ జగత్తు లోపల నేను ధ్యానమునందు కానీ యోగమునందు కానీ లౌకికమునందు కానీ జీవితమునందు కానీ సర్వ సౌఖ్యములను అనుభవిస్తున్నానని ఆనందిస్తుంటారు.
Some people feel that they are enjoying all the joy and happiness in whatever work they are
వీరు
performing.
నిజమైన ఆనందం ఏమిటో గుర్తించుకోలేని వారే.
These people really do not know the meaning of
ఈ
the,
సౌఖ్యములంటే ఏమిటో ఇది నిజంగా దాని యొక్క అర్థాలను తెలుసుకోలేనటువంటి వారే.
they have not understood the correct meaning of happiness.
చక్కగా విచారించి చూస్తే సౌఖ్యములను నీవు అనుభవిస్తున్నావా లేక నిన్నే సౌఖ్యములు అనుభవిస్తున్నాయా యోచన చేసుకో.
If you were to correctly look into and inquire whether the joys are enjoying you or you are enjoying the joys of the things.
కాదు ఈ సౌఖ్యములే నిన్ను అనుభవిస్తున్నాయి.
These objects, they are enjoying you.
మానవుని సర్వ సౌఖ్యములు అనుభవించి దాని వల్ల ఈ శరీరంలో ఉన్నటువంటి సమస్త శక్తిని గుంజుకొని ఈ శరీరంలో రాగ ద్వేష అసూయ డంబాది అనేటువంటి రోగములను కల్పించిపోతున్నారు.
It is the objects which make use of the man, enjoy in the form of the man, take away all the best in him, fill him with all sorts of negative feelings.
దేహముతో అనుభవించేటువంటి సౌఖ్యములు నిజంగా సౌఖ్యములు కాదు. సౌఖ్యములు దేహాన్ని అనుభవించి దేహాన్ని అన్ని విధాల శిథిలం గావిస్తుండాలి.
The happinesses which you enjoy with the help of the body are not real happinesses at all. In fact,
నిజంగా నీవు సౌఖ్యములే అనుభవిస్తే దేహం ఎందుకు శిథిలం కావాలి, దేహం ఎందుకు బలహీనం కావాలి, దేహం ఎందుకు వార్ధక్యంలో మునగాలి?
if you are really enjoying the happiness from the things, why should the body become weak?
సౌఖ్యములు ఈ దేహాన్ని అనుభవించినాయి కాబట్టి దీన్ని పీల్చి పిప్పి చేసి కేవలం వార్ధక్యములో ముంచిపోతున్నారు.
It is the happinesses which have enjoyed the body, and therefore the body becomes weak, dilapidated, and it gets ruined and lost.
కనుక నీవు నీది కానటువంటి యొక్క సౌఖ్యాన్ని నీవుగా భావించుకొని నీవు మురిచిపోతున్నావు, నీ తత్వాన్ని నీవు మర్చిపోతున్నావు.
You are unnecessarily becoming very happy, thinking of the things which you really are not, and you are forgetting yourself, who you really are.
కనుక మొట్టమొదట ప్రతి మానవుడు కూడాను నేనెవరు 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 నేను అనేటువంటి తత్వాన్ని గుర్తించాలి.
Every human being, therefore, in the very first place has to inquire who he is.
నేనే
What the
సర్వత్రా ఉన్నాను,
I am all pervasive.
నేనే సర్వస్వరూపాన్ని,
I am all forms.
నేనే ఆత్మను,
I am Atma.
ఆత్మనే హృదయము.
Atma is
హృదయము
heart.
ఆత్మ ప్రత్యేకం కాదు.
Atma and heart are not.
ఈ నేను అనేటువంటి యొక్క స్థానాన్ని దాని ఉనికిని మనం గుర్తించడానికి ప్రయత్నించడమే మన యొక్క సాధన.
All our sadhana must be aimed at recognizing who this I is.
కనుక ప్రతి మానవులు కూడాను ఏదో కొన్ని తెలియనటువంటి మార్గంలో ప్రవేశించి తద్వారా అనేక విధమైనటువంటి యొక్క కొన్ని కన్ఫ్యూజన్ అనగా తికమకల్లో పడిపోయి ఈ నిజమైనటువంటి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మార్గాన్ని కొంతవరకు విస్మరిస్తూ ఉన్నారు.
Quite a few people not recognizing the correct meaning of things are getting confused, taken to the wrong path.
మనం ఈనాడు చేసేటువంటి ప్రతి సాధనలు కూడాను ద్వైత భావంతోనే చేస్తున్నాం.
All the sadhanas performed by us these days are
ఎంత
done
కాలమైనప్పటికీ మనం ద్వైతంలోనే ఉంటుంటే మన జీవితం వ్యర్థమే.
with the feeling of Dvaita. And if you continuously have this kind of Dvaita bhava,
క్రమక్రమేణా మన దృష్టిని దీనిని మార్చుకుంటూ పోవాలి.
our life would be wasted. We should go on changing our Dvaita bhava.
మన యొక్క సృష్టి తత్వం అంతా కూడాను మన కల్పన అనేటువంటి సత్యం మనం అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి.
We should understand that the entire creation is only our own imagination.
మన దృష్టి ఉండినప్పుడే సృష్టి ఉంటుండాలి.
So long as you have your external vision, you get.
మన నేత్రం ఉండినంత వరకే మనకు శాస్త్రం శాసిస్తూ ఉండాలి.
As long as you are having your own eyes, they are dictated by the
కనుక విశ్వం విష్ణు స్వరూపం అనేటువంటి సత్యాన్ని గుర్తించాలి.
Recognize the truth that the entire world is the form of God.
మనం అనేక రకములుగా సాధనలు సలుపుతున్నాము.
We are performing
భజనలు చేస్తున్నాము, జపములు చేస్తున్నాము,
Bhajan, Japam, and
పూజలు చేస్తున్నాము,
worship also.
యజ్ఞములు చేస్తున్నాము, యాగములు చేస్తున్నాము. ఇవన్నింటికి నేను లభించేటువంటి వాడిని కాను అని భగవద్గీత ఎందుకును 11వ అధ్యాయంలో 48-52 కూడాను స్పష్టంగా బోధిస్తూ వచ్చింది.
Divinity has already declared in Bhagavad Gita in the 11th
యజ్ఞాలకు
chapter.
నేను చిక్కను, యాగాలకు నేను వశము కాను, జపధ్యానములకు నేను ఏమాత్రము లభించను.
I cannot be caught by yajnas. I am not easily amenable for yagas and other things. I cannot be achieved at
అయితే ఇవన్నీ కూడా నువ్వు విసర్జించమని కాదు. ఇవి ఎంతవరకు మనకు అవసరము? ద్వైత భావంలో ఉండిన మానవులకు ఇది అవసరం.
It doesn't mean that you have to give up all these things. So long as you are having Dvaita Bhava, you should perform all these things.
అదే గీత కూడాను గీతాన్ని విశ్వసించేటువంటి వారంతా కూడాను చక్కగా గుర్తించాలి. అనిత్యం అసుఖం లోకం అని బోధించింది.
The same Gita has also declared that this world is temporary and not going to be permanent.
ఇలాంటి
and not
అనిత్యము
full of
అసుఖమైనటువంటి
happiness.
లోకంలో మనం నిత్య సత్యమైనటువంటి యొక్క సుఖ శాంతులను మనం ఏ రీతిగా సాధించగలం?
How can we achieve a permanent truth, permanent happiness in a world which is full of
కానీ మన యందు ఆ పర్మనెంట్, ఆ శాశ్వతమైన, ఆ సత్యమైనటువంటి యొక్క తత్వం ఒకటి ఉంది. దాని ద్వారా మనం శాశ్వతాన్ని సాధించాలి.
that we can achieve only through that permanent entity which is within us.
అదే ఆత్మతత్వము.
That is principle of Atma.
సముద్రము ఎంత విశాలమైనటువంటిది, అగాధమైనటువంటి అయినప్పటికీ ఆ సముద్రం కూడాను తనలో విలువైనటువంటి యొక్క ముత్యములు నుంచుకొని విలువలేనటువంటి యొక్క నత్త చిప్పలను బయట గెట్టుకుతున్నది.
How vast the ocean is. And this ocean keeps within its own stomach all the precious pearls and gems and useless.
కనుకనే ఆ సాగరాన్ని సంసారానికి పోల్చుకున్నారు. సంసారం సాగరం అన్నారు.
It is in this context ocean is compared to samsara.
మన సంసారం అట్లే ఉండాలి. విలువైనటువంటి యొక్క ఆత్మతత్వాన్ని మనం భద్రపరచుకొని ఈ విలువలైనటువంటి యొక్క ఈ భావములు, ఈ రూపములు, ఈ నామములు మనం విసర్జించడానికి ప్రయత్నించాలి.
We should also treasure and preserve the principle of Atma in our own heart. And give up
ఎంతకాలమైన
things
దేహ
associated.
భ్రాంతులు, ఎంతకాలమైన దేహ రూపాలతోనే మనం జీవిస్తూ పోతుంటే ఇంకా దేహాతీతమైనటువంటి యొక్క రూపాతీతమైనటువంటి భావాతీతమైనటువంటి యొక్క నిజతత్వాన్ని ఏనాడు మనం అనుభవించేది?
For any length of time, if we are going on living the life associated with the attachment to the body, the mind, and
అట్లని
everything,
ఈ సర్వస్వాన్ని త్యజించమని కాదు.
it doesn't mean that you have to give up all these things either.
నీ కర్తవ్యాలు నీవు నిర్వర్తించుకుంటూ కూడాను ఆత్మతత్వాన్ని లక్ష్యం నందుంచుకో.
While discharging duties enjoined on you by the scriptures, you have to concentrate on
చేసేది ఆత్మ,
Atma.
చేయించేది ఆత్మ, అనుభవించేది ఆత్మ, సర్వమును ఆత్మనే అనేటువంటి విశాల భావాన్ని మనం అభివృద్ధి పరుచుకున్నప్పుడు క్రమక్రమేణా అది ఆ విశాల తత్వానికి చేరుస్తుంది.
It is the principle of Atma which prompts you to do, which it does and which enjoys. Once you develop this kind of broad idea and broad mind, this
మనము
Atma
చేరడానికి
itself will lead you to the
కష్టం
goal.
అయినప్పటికీ లక్ష్యం మాత్రం పెట్టుకోవాలి.
It may be difficult for you to accomplish it, but you should keep that as the goal of life.
లక్ష్యం మనల్ని ఉండినప్పుడే ఈనాడు కాకపోతే ఏనాడైనా మనం ఆ గమ్యాన్ని చేరగచ్చు.
So long as you have got a great goal before you, you are likely to achieve it.
కొట్టేదానికంటే గురి తప్పినా మంచిదే, పురినే కొట్టరా అన్నాడు.
There is a proverb in Telugu which says, instead of succeeding hunting after a jackal, which is a lame one, better aim at a tiger and even miss it.
కనుక ఈ చిన్న చిన్న దాని లోపల మనం ఇంత శ్రమలు పడి ఇన్ని అవస్థలకు గురి అయ్యేదానికంటే నిజమైనటువంటి ఆత్మతత్వపైన లక్ష్యం పెట్టుకోండి. దాంట్లో ఫెయిల్ అయినా పర్వాలేదు, దాంట్లో మనం విజయాన్ని సాధించిన వారమే అవుతాం.
Instead of having this kind of small petty things as the goal of life, it is better to have the grand goal as our life's goal, and then even if we miss it, it doesn't matter.
భజ గోవిందం భజ గోవిందం గోవిందం భజ మూఢమతే గోవిందం భజ మూఢమతే భజ గోవిందం భజ గోవిందం గోవిందం భజ మూఢమతే సంప్రాప్తే సన్నిహితే కాలే సంప్రాప్తే సన్నిహితే కాలే నహి నహి రక్షతి దుఃఖకరణే నహి నహి రక్షతి దుఃఖకరణే పునరపి జననం పునరపి మరణం పునరపి జననం పునరపి మరణం పునరపి జనని జఠరే శయనం పునరపి జనని జఠరే శయనం ఇహ సంసారే బహు దుస్తారే 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 కృపయా పారే పాహి మురారే కృపయా పారే పాహి మురారే భజ భజ
साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
To a devotee who told Swami that every home in his native place was resounding with Swami's name, Inti Intiki Sai Namame, Swami replied, "The day is not far off when my name will resound in every inch of this earth. Inti intiki kadu, inchi inchiki sai namame vintavu." Sai Ma, we pray, let every atom reverberate with your glory. Let every second be filled with your name. Let every heart throb in unison with thee. Swami, we, your students from the Brindavan campus, humbly offer at your divine lotus feet a bouquet of musical melodies entitled Kane Kane Mein Tera Naam.
निरागसहो गणपति सूरनिरागसहो सूरनिरागसहो गणपति सूरनिरागसहो शुभनयना करुणामय गौरी हर्षि वरद विनायक शुभनयना करुणामय गौरी हर्षि वरद विनायक ओंकार गणपति ओंकार गणपति अधिपति सुखपति छंदपति गंधपति नील निरंतर हो नील निरंतर हो सूर्य निरागस हो सूर्य निरागस हो गणपति सूर्य निरागस मोरया मोरया गणपति बप्पा मोरया 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 गणपति बप्पा मोरया गजबदना तू सुख करता गजबदना तू दुख हरता गजबदना मोरया 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 गणपति बप्पा मोरया गजबदना तू सुख करता गजबदना तू दुख हरता गजबदना मोरया मोरया सूर्य निरागस हो सूर्य निरागस हो सुरसुमनानि भरलियोंजळ नित्यरीति वावी चरणांवर कान्हे बालक सुमधुर हासे भाव तसे बाहो सुरातुन ओंकार गणपती ओंकार गणपती अधिपति सुखपति चंडपति गंधपति अधिपति सुखपति चंद्रपति गंधपति सुरपति लील निरंतर हो लील निरंतर हो सूर्य निरागस हो सूर्य निरागस हो गणपति सूर्य निरागस मोरया मोरया गणपति बप्पा मोरया 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 गणपति बप्पा मोरया गजवदना तू सुख करता गजवदना तू दुख हरता गजवदना मोरया 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 गणपति बप्पा मोरया गजवदना तू सुख करता गजवदना तू दुख हरता गजवदना मोरया मोरया सूर्य निरागस मोरया 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 सूर्य निरागस मोरया
The arrow from Lord Rama's bow found its mark and annihilated the demon king Ravana. To celebrate this victory of dharma over adharma, let us sing the glory of Lord Rama, the epitome of righteousness, and immerse ourselves in the divine nectar.
रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमो नमः नमो नमः नमो नमः जनन मरण भय शोकविदूरम् जनन मरण भय शोकविदूरम्
सकलशास्त्र निगमागमसारं जनन मरण भय शोकविदूरं सकलशास्त्र निगमागमसारं पिबरे रामरसने पिबरे रामरसं पिबरे रामरसं 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 शुद्ध परमहंस आश्रमगीतम् शुद्ध परमहंस आश्रमगीतं शुकशोनक कौशिकमुखपीतं शुद्ध परमहंस आश्रमगीतं शुकशोनक कौशिकमुखपीतं पिबरे रामरसं रसने पिबरे रामरसं पिबरे रामरसं 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 रामरसं
Originating in the 17th century, this popular form of Carnatic music is known as Tillana. Blending this form of music with the name of our Lord, who is of the Bharatvaja Gotram and Apastamba Sutram, we offer a soulful Tillana in the Ragam Sindhu Bhairavi.
ni sa ga re ga sa ma ga ma sa pa ma pa sa da ma da sa ni sa da ni pa da ma pa ga ma re ga sa ri sa ga re ga sa ma ga ma sa pa ma pa sa da ma da sa ni sa da ni pa da ma pa ga ma sa ma కోటి పూసల కుక్క కొల్గి పల్గగాని నీటు మాటల కోటి నేరడితడు నేటు మాటల కోటి నేరడితడు పూలన్నీ తెచ్చి పూజలు చేసిన మెచ్చుకొనడు మా సాయి హృదయ కమలము అర్పించిన సదయుడై గ్రహించు నిత్య శాంతిదాయి మా సాయి మనసిచ్చిదను ప్రేమ మాటలాడునే గాని మనసిచ్చిదను ప్రేమ మాటలాడునే కాని బుద్ధి మాటలు పలుకడెప్పుడు బుద్ధి మాటలు పలుకడెప్పుడు పాపసంబ సూత్రము భారద్వాజ సగోత్రము సరి గమ గమ పద నదిరన తదిగిడదం 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 నా తం నం తదిగిడగ తదిగిడగ తదిగిడగతాం తదిగిడగ తదిగిడగ తదిగిడగతాం తదిగిడగ 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 సరిగమప తకదిన సరిగమప తదిగిడ తకదిన సరిగమప నారే తాని తోమ్ర దీంద్ర ధను దీంద్ర తిరన నదిరన బమగరిస తకదిన బమగరిస తరిగిడ తకదిన బమగరిస నారే తాని తోమ్ర దీంద్ర ధను దీంద్ర తిరన నదిరన సరిగమప తకదిన సరిగమప తరిగిడ తకదిన సరిగమప నారే తాని తోమ్ర దీంద్ర ధను దీంద్ర తిరన నదిరన తిరన నదిరన తిరన నదిరన నదిరన తిరన నదిరన తిరన నదిరన నదిరన
O Mother, the destroyer of demons, the bestower of liberation, the giver of wisdom, and the source of all auspiciousness, bless us to move from ignorance to illumination, confusion to clarity, mortality to divinity. We bow to you, O Devi. We sing your praises. Jai Jai Jagajanani Devi.
जय जय जग जननी देवी सुर नर मुनि असुर सेवी भक्ति मुक्ति दायिनी भय हरणि कालिका मंगल मुद सिद्धि सदनि पर्व शर्वरीश वदनि तापति मिर तरुण तरणि किरण मालिका गमधनि सरि गनि सनि द मा शर्वरीशवदनी तापति मीर तरुण तरणि किरण मालिका जय जय जग जननी देवी मम ददनी नि सा साकिनी समेत भूत ग्रह भेटाल खग निकाल जालिका जय जय जग जननी देवी मम ददनी नि सा पद परम प्रेम तुलसी अचल नेम देहु वै प्रसन्न पाहि प्रणत पालिका जय जय जग जननी देवी जय जय जग जननी देवी सुर नर मुनि असुर सेवी भक्ति मुक्ति दायिनी भय हरणि कालिका मंगल मुद सिद्धि सदनी पर्व शर्वरीश वदनी तापति मीर तरुण तरणि किरण मालिका किरण मालिका किरण मालिका
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. To that Devi who dwells in each of the living beings in the form of the mother, to that Devi who's the vanquisher of all our vices, and to that Devi who brings light to all the three worlds. We pray to you, O Sai Ma, to light the flame of wisdom in our thoughts, words, and deeds.
जय भूतातिहारिणि जय सर्वगते देवी कालरात्रि नमोस्तुते जय त्वं देवी चामुण्डे जय भूतातिहारिणि जय सर्वगते देवी कालरात्रि नमोस्तुते जयन्ती मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा दात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते नमो नमो दुर्गे 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 सुखकरणी नमो नमो अम्बे दुखहरणी निराकार है ज्योति तुम्हारी निहो लोक पहले उजियारी शशि जगदम्बे भवानी नमो नमो दुर्गे 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 दुर्गे दुर्गटवारी तुझ बिन संसारी अनाथ नाथे अम्बे करुणा विस्तारी वारी वारी जन्म मरण तेवासी वारी पड़लो आता संकट निवारी जय देवी जय देवी जय देवी जय देवी महिषासुर मथिनी सुरवर ईश्वर वर दे तारक संजीवनी जय देवी जय देवी जय देवी जय देवी महिषासुर मथिनी सुरवर ईश्वर वर दे तारक संजीवनी जय देवी जय देवी जय देवी जय देवी नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः
The world has been blessed to witness our beloved Bhagawan perform Vibhuti Abhishekam to Shirdi Sai idol. Let us all open the doors of our hearts to that Sai Baba of Shirdi so that he can guide us through every walk of our lives. O Lord, pray, let our eyes see only thy form in all. Let our ears hear thy clarion call. Let our tongue speak words soft and sweet, and let our lips thy holy name repeat. O Shirdi Wale, let our lips thy holy name repeat.
ज़माने ने कहा टूटी हुई तस्वीर बनती है
तेरे दरबार में बिगड़ी हुई तकदीर बनती है तारीफ तेरी निकली है दिल से
आई है लब पे बन के कवाली शिरडी वाले साई बाबा आया है तेरे दर पे सवाली शिरडी वाले साई बाबा आया है तेरे दर पे सवाली लब पे दुआएं आंखों में आंसू दिल में उम्मीदें पर झोली खाली शिरडी वाले साई बाबा आया है तेरे
सारे सभी तुझको है प्यारे। सुने फरियाद सबकी, मुझे है याद सबकी। बड़ा या कोई छोटा, नहीं मायूस लौटा। अमीरों का सहारा, गरीबों का गुजारा। तेरी रहमत का किस्सा गया, हम सब करें क्या। दो दिन की दुनिया, दुनिया है गुलशन। हम फूल काटे, सब हमारे। शिरडी वाले साईं बाबा, आया है तेरे दर पे सवारी। शिरडी वाले साईं बाबा, आया है तेरे दर पे सवारी। खुदा की शान तुझमें, दिखे भगवान तुझमें। खुदा की शान तुझमें, दिखे भगवान तुझमें। तुझे सब मानते हैं, तेरा घर जानते हैं। चले आते हैं दौड़े, जो खुशकिस्मत है थोड़े। ये हर राही की मंजिल, ये हर कश्ती का साहिल। जिसे सबने निकाला, उसे तूने संभाला। उसे सबने निकाला, उसे तूने संभाला। तू बिछड़ों को मिलाए, मुझे दीपक है जलाए। तू बिछड़ों को मिलाए, मुझे दीपक जलाए। तू बिछड़ों को मिलाए, मुझे दीपक जलाए। ये गम की रातें, रात है सुनहरा। इनको बना दे ईद और दशहरा। आरती वाले साईं बाबा, आया है तेरे दर पे सवारी। आरती वाले साईं बाबा, आया है तेरे दर पे सवारी। आरती वाले साईं बाबा, आया है तेरे दर पे सवारी। आरती वाले साईं बाबा, आरती वाले साईं बाबा, साईं बाबा, आया है तेरे दर पे सवारी। हरि श्री गणपति ओम, हरि श्री गणपति ओम। हरि श्री गणपति ओम, हरि श्री गणपति ओम। हरे गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम। हरे गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति साई प्रेम स्वरूपिणी माँ, स्वरूपिणी माँ, साई प्रेम स्वरूपिणी माँ, सत्य स्वरूपिणी माँ, साई प्रेम स्वरूपिणी माँ, आनंददायिनी हृदय निवासिनी परति निवासिनी माँ, परमानंददायिनी हृदय निवासिनी परति निवासिनी माँ, भव भयहारिणी कालिका पालिनी माँ, भव भयहारिणी कालिका पालिनी माँ, विघ्न विनाशिनी भव भयहारिणी कालिका पालिनी माँ, प्रदायिनी त्रिभुवन पालिनी मंगलकारिणी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी हे त्रिभुवन पालिनी मंगलकारिणी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी त्रिभुवन पालिनी मंगलकारिणी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी परमानंददायिनी हृदय निवासिनी परति निवासिनी माँ, परमानंददायिनी हृदय निवासिनी परति निवासिनी माँ, प्रेम स्वरूपिणी माँ, साई प्रेम स्वरूपिणी माँ, आनंददायिनी हृदय निवासिनी परति निवासिनी माँ, विघ्न विनाशिनी भव भयहारिणी कालिका पालिनी माँ, हे त्रिभुवन पालिनी मंगलकारिणी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माँ, परमानंददायिनी हृदय निवासिनी पति निवासिनी माँ, परमानंददायिनी हृदय निवासिनी पति निवासिनी माँ, सत्य स्वरूपिणी माँ, साई प्रेम स्वरूपिणी माँ, हरे मुरारे साई राम, हरे मुरारे राम, 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 परम
सुमंगल साई राम परम सुमंगल राम परम सुमंगल साई राम परम सुमंगल राम परम सुमंगल साई राम परम सुमंगल राम परम सुमंगल साई राम परम सुमंगल राम हरे मुरारे साई राम हरे मुरारे राम हरे मुरारे साई राम हरे मुरारे राम परम सुमंगल साई राम परम सुमंगल राम सुमंगल साई राम परम सुमंगल राम ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सब तुम हो भगवान ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सब तुम हो भगवान परम सुमंगल साई राम परम सुमंगल राम 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 हरे मुरारे साई राम हरे मुरारे राम माता माता साई माता 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 साई माता 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 साई माता 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 साई माता जगत माता साई विश्व 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 माता 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 साई माता माता साई माता दुर्गा भवानी काली कपालिनी दुर्गा भवानी काली कपालिनी दुर्गा भवानी काली कपालिनी दुर्गा भवानी काली कपालिनी शांतिदायिनी साई माता शांतिदायिनी साई माता शांतिदायिनी साई माता शांतिदायिनी साई माता 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 साई माता 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 साई माता जगत माता साई विश्व माता जगत माता साई विश्व माता 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 साई माता 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 साई माता दुर्गा भवानी काली कपालिनी दुर्गा भवानी काली कपालिनी शांतिदायिनी साई माता शांतिदायिनी साई माता शांतिदायिनी साई माता शांतिदायिनी साई माता 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 साई माता ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदैवमो मरियं तयुनीवे स्वामी मरियं तयुनीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्र शयना ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप जय श्री ओ साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल आरती अंदुको मंगल आरती अंदुको मंदर गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।
Om Shri Sai Ram. Invoking Bhagwan's divine blessings. Tomorrow is the 5th day of the 7-day-long Veda Purusha Saptaha Jnana Yagnam, which is being held at the Purnachandra Auditorium. The Purnachandra Hall will be opened for entry at 7:30 a.m. The morning session in the Purnachandra Hall will conclude with Mangalarti at around 9:45, following which the devotees can proceed to Sai Kulwant Hall to receive Bhagwan's Divya Darshan, which will conclude with Mahamangalarti. Devotees who wish to stay back in the Purnachandra Hall can remain seated. Tomorrow is also a very auspicious day of Durgashtami. As per the tradition, with Bhagwan's blessings, we'll be performing the sacred Ayudha Puja at around 8:30 a.m. in Sai Kulwant Hall. Tomorrow's evening session in Sai Kulwant Hall will commence at 4:30 with Vedam chanting. At 4:40, the 5th day proceedings of 7-day-long Prasanthi Vidwan Mahasabha will commence with the invocatory Vedam, followed by a talk by Dr. N. Shivakumar, Director, Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Brindavan Campus. We'll then be blessed with Bhagawan's divine discourse, which will be followed by a cultural presentation titled Bharatiyam, offered by the Prasanthi dance group comprising students from Bhagawan's educational institutions. The evening session in Sai Kulwant Hall will conclude with Bhajans and Mangalarti, followed by Bhagawan's Divya Darshan. Jai Sai Ram.
ఓం శ్రీ సాయిరామ్. స్వామివారి దివ్యానుగ్రహ ఆశీస్సులతో పూర్ణచంద్ర సభా మండపంలో జరుగుచున్న 7 రోజుల వేద పురుష సప్తాహ జ్ఞానయజ్ఞంలో రేపటి 5వ రోజున పూర్ణచంద్ర సభా మండపం భక్తుల ప్రవేశార్థమై ఉదయం 7:30 తెరవబడును. సుమారు 9:45 పూర్ణచంద్ర సభా మండపంలో మంగళహారతి అనంతరం భక్తులు సాయి కుల్వంత్ సభా మండపంలో స్వామివారి దివ్య దర్శనం గావించుకోగలరు. మహామంగళహారతితో స్వామివారి దివ్య దర్శనం ముగియును. పూర్ణచంద్ర సభా మండపంలో మంగళహారతి అనంతరం యజ్ఞాన్ని వీక్షించదలిచిన భక్తులకు పూర్ణచంద్ర సభా మండపమునందు ప్రవేశం కొనసాగింపబడును. రేపటి రోజు పవిత్రమైన దుర్గాష్టమి పర్వదినాన సాయి కుల్వంత్ సభా మండపంలో ఉదయం 8:30 స్వామివారి ఆశీస్సులతో ఆయుధ పూజా కార్యక్రమం జరుగుతుంది. సాయి కుల్వంత్ సభా మండపంలో రేపటి సాయంకాల కార్యక్రమం 4:30 వేద పఠనంతో ప్రారంభమవుతుంది. 4:40 7 రోజుల ప్రశాంతి విద్వాన్ మహాసభ 5వ రోజు కార్యక్రమం వేదోచ్చారణతో ప్రారంభమై శ్రీ సత్యసాయి ఉన్నత విద్యా సంస్థ బృందావన్ క్యాంపస్ డైరెక్టర్ డాక్టర్ ఎన్ శివకుమార్ గారిచే ప్రసంగంతో కొనసాగును. అనంతరం స్వామివారి దివ్య సందేశం. తదుపరి స్వామివారి విద్యా సంస్థలకు చెందిన విద్యార్థులతో కూడిన ప్రశాంతి నృత్య బృందం భారతీయం పేరిట ఓ సాంస్కృతిక కార్యక్రమాన్ని సమర్పిస్తారు. రేపటి సాయంకాల కార్యక్రమం భజనలతో కొనసాగి మంగళహారతితో ముగియును. అనంతరం స్వామివారి దివ్య దర్శనం. జై సాయిరామ్.
ఓం సాईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ साईश्वराय 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 विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। 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 ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि